So when we're done, I'll delete the one that didn't work. But I tried to log in. I'm talking to myself, there's like 0 online. But 10 waiting or 14 waiting in the other window. So I popped in for a second to say that I cannot activate my live. It just says something went wrong. So I would recreate a new one. So hopefully someone will find this one and share the link. I'm on the other side of the fence. That's our village behind us, for those of you catching up later. Because we have a big group of people coming in, or a group of people coming in, and they're here after hours today, so we don't want them to see. Ah, there's Lindsay, found me. Yay, yay, yay. Sorry, I'll re-explain it when everyone else gets here. But anyway, we have a yacht in the village, and some other people too, and basically tourists after hours today. Hey, hi to Lisa, made it too. Tourists after hours today. So I went, I'm going live outside on the fjord instead today. You did share it. Thank you, Albert. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I think it's because when I started to create it, I accidentally hit the first time. I accidentally hit go live instead of just done and wait for later. So then when I tried to delete the first one, maybe I deleted the wrong one. When I recreated, I don't know what I did. But anyway, I see 5 people now, so we're getting there. This is what the other side of the wall looks like. That's the village behind those walls. This is one way we get big motorized vehicles into the village. But I'm actually just outside the kayak center. See, that roof is not our grass roof, that's the kayak center. Anyway, so I'll wait for other people to catch up and then I'll re-explain what I did wrong. But the reason I'm on the outside of the village today is because we have a super yacht coming in today. We've had quite a few of them this summer, but they're having a blot, and then later, because the village was full this week, we're having a gilda, or a little party, another feast. But as long as we have tourists in the village, it doesn't look good to see a Viking walking around with a webcam. See if we can find the yacht, though. Kayakers. You found me! Hey, hey. Okay. Oh, our fence needs repair, Albert. You have to come back and fix it. Look, it's starting to fall down now. Albert's class did this a couple of years ago. Made it up nicely, and now it looks like it's fallen down a bit, or maybe that's just because they've apparently made a new opening in the wall. I know. I think they actually made an entrance there specifically. I don't know why. Either way, though, it needs repair. But, I mean, they're getting old. You can see over there. If I zoom in, you can see they're getting pretty old, the waddling. So you have to come back and fix it. It's just that simple. So this is why I'm filming outside the village today. Super yacht. That's actually a smaller one. We've had some bigger ones. But they are doing an event in the village right about, that starts now actually, I think. And they'll be carrying on for a couple hours, so that's why I'm outside today. That actually looks like an old super yacht. We've had some rather plastic looking ones. And my guess is that's them that just got off the boat, so I'm not going to film them, but I see a group that just came off that tender there. But yeah, I see about 17 people heading in towards the village that just came off that tender. So I fell down a rabbit hole and I was watching this, was it Netflix? Show called Super Yacht. It's reality TV trash. Anyway, it was kind of interesting to see how they work on the inside of the yacht, though. I think the tender boat is having a lot of fun over there. I think he's bored. Nothing else to do in Gudvangen for 2 hours if you can't go in the village.
Hello.
Hey, what do you think he's doing over there? Oh, they're behind me. I'll be quiet a minute. I didn't know they were coming in this entrance. Yeah, no, we're gonna go down to the fjord. I didn't realize the super yacht was gonna be coming in behind me. Anyway, it's very pretty today. There's the waterfall I posted. That was when it was gushing last week, though, that I took that picture. This tree has gotten pretty big, Albert. Do you recognize how small that was? That was planted probably about 5-6 years ago now. Maybe 6. I got a bunch of people looking at both the yacht behind me, or the group of people behind me, and the strange Viking pointing a camera at them. So, now I can show you the village door. There they go. So they've gone in already. We don't usually open that side anymore, but we did for them. But we'll give them their privacy, so I'll try not to film them. More of the fence Albert helped make. See, it needs more love. Hi. The people coming over the bridge. Okay, so now I got 10 people back. I saw there was 14 on earlier. So what happened? I can turn it. I created a link, and then I accidentally started it for YouTube. Instead of actually just clicking done and saving it for later, I accidentally hit go live. So, okay, so I stopped it, and then I tried to cancel it and delete it. And then I made a new one, identical. And I thought I shared the right one when I see both of them are up there. So I delete the old one, share the correct one. And then when I go to start the one that I shared, it won't let me. So I'm glad you found it on the old one. I'll delete the old link and repost it later or something like that. I don't know. Okay, now they're coming off the... There. So I'm glad you found from... Oh, look at that. I even got 3 likes. So we'll go see what's on the other side of the village today. Now that I tried to stay away from the super yacht, instead I'm a Viking with a gimbal and a cell phone and a modern bag standing outside the door they're going in. You worked on the part closest to the bridge. Yeah. Oh, so then right about where we just passed then. We'll get to the middle of the bridge and see how much those kids can cause the bridge to shake now on a suspension part. Okay, we won't film them though. Oh, there goes the tender boats back again. Okay, so I'll stop and catch up and see how you guys are doing. So, Lindsay's here, Heidi's here, Albert's here, Charlotte, Arlene, Susan. You guys all found it, yay. Albert says he's dog sitting and has been outside for most of the day chilling with the dog. Oh, that's kind of fun. What kind of dog? Charlotte says that's a lot of tickets. Oh yeah, we had record numbers this week. Congratulations to us. We had, on Tuesday, over 500 people in at the same time. That's not for the whole entire day, that's at the same time. So that was, yay, that was a new record. Before it was 400 and something, but today, this week we were well over 5. It was, I think, 3 cruise ships and no less than 7 buses in at the same time, plus a lot of walk-ins. So we're very happy. The pandemic is officially over in the village. And still, most of us haven't gotten it. Well over 500 people at the same time in the village. So that was a perfectly orchestrated... Oh, they're shaking the bridge for me. It's going boing, boing. No, so it's a perfectly orchestrated guiding. 7 guided tours going on at the exact same time. Some of them would have to go and eat first. And then, because we had their guided tours included a buffet. So someone would have to eat first, someone would have to go to activities first, someone would have to go to one station and then another station and another station. And 500 people at the same time, there's definitely room for 500 people in the village at the same time. But if they all have to stand at the same place, or passing each other, 2 big groups passing each other, that's pretty tricky. So Albert, you'd be pretty impressed. It actually went off like smooth. We've had lesser days that have been more chaotic than that one, so it was really good. Let's see. Perud is posting the new link on Reddit and Facebook groups. Oh, thank you so much. Too much vertigo. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? Torben is here. We just visited with them yesterday. I gave him some beer, questionable beer, so it'll be interesting to see. You'll have to log into his podcast and see if he saves it for that. It was coronapills.com or quarantanapills, sorry, quarantanapills.com, or this is podnot.com, but quarantanapills. You have to put your own link in there, Torben. Anyway, it means literally quarantine beer. But he does that about once a month. And so he likes IPA, or Indian Pale Ale. They call it IPA in Norwegian, or IPA. And so I found some. I didn't know what the hell it was. It was called Sierra Nevada, something weird. I found it in a Best Before store, so, you know, it went on a date in May. I'm sure it's fine. Let's see, what else have I cut up on? So we'll see what he thinks of it. I'm expecting it to be pretty crappy, because it's always funny when he has to critique crappy beer. But it's in Norwegian. Arlene says, I've already discussed the weather and the daily activities, so I missed it. Well, maybe I'll have to leave it up just for that. Charlotte says, du kan plukke mjordort der. Yeah, you can get meadowsweet. It's, there's meadowsweet, I think, all along that river there. We can look the other way too now, by the way. There's the village. Meadowsweet you can make a juice with, a concentrate. That's really good. And Charlotte was making some in the village. And you used a lot of sugar, I think. I'll turn the camera. There, people walking by. Rats, no visuals for me, just listening. Oh no. Yeah, let's see. I need to try to jump off that bridge. Last year I was too tired to try. It's a good thing you didn't, because the water level was a lot lower last year than it is now. Now you can see it again the other way. Let's see. There. Oh, you got link but no sound. Hopefully she can fix it. Catching up. There, we'll look that way. You had a bad vertigo attack today. Looking forward to the distraction. Oh, good. Just, you know, close your eyes. Charlotte says she also got beer today from my coworker. Ah, that's a good coworker. Okay, so we'll go across the bridge. Just had to pick up all my needle binding and stuff that fell down. Other little craft stuff I brought to work with today. Okay, and then I'll turn the camera that way so we're not shining it on people and you can get that view for a little while. So this week, crap load of tourists. We like it. Most of them are coming from Germany and France. A lot of French lately. Belgium, Italy, Spain, and Holland for the most part, but they're coming from everywhere, even the United States. But Norway starts school this week. So that means I start commuting again tomorrow. I start going back and forth every week. And maybe this is my last year in Vestby. We shall see. There. Up on the hill there, they'll have a little blot later today. I don't know if you caught that at the beginning. So the group that's coming in, they're doing a big blot in there. And of course, because the village filled up with Vikings again this week, we're having a little gilda or party afterwards. It's nice to have a party on the Saturday nights when we have when the village is full. So this week it just magically filled. Everybody started writing in around Wednesday, and between Wednesday and Thursday, 6 houses came in, and it immediately went to full. And we kept picking up a couple more along the way, and so now people actually have bunk mates. Yep, I will eventually move to Gudvangen from Vestby. Carl and I are renting a house just underneath that avalanche there. And every week when I go back and forth, especially now that that's starting up again, I bring more and more things with me, and then I'll decide what to do with the apartment in Vestby. Because seriously, this view, it's just worth it. But right now, my kids are still going to go to school locally, so I'll go back and forth for a while longer. So, take you over the bridge here. There we go. There's the seafood part, the glassed-in part. Really good seafood from out in the fjord. And the part there with the big grass roof, that's the regular, the main part of the hotel and restaurant. Well, look at me again when I walk over. Okay. Who knows what this is? People have been mudding them, not just the birds, but the tourists have too. Do you know what those are? They grow all over here. My kids used to think this was a great little snack. The first time we ever came over here, we would walk over this bridge to the market every morning, and they would pick a new handful. Rips, yeah. Do you know what rips is in English? Yeah? Rips are red currants in English. And there's more on this side too. So they're in season. This means that all those other little berries that were forming in the village, they are solbær, which is black currants. And those are also ripe now. But the black currants, I think you have to have a strong stomach to be able to have that. Albert says he's looking forward to come over next month, but no guarantees. We'll definitely have space. There's actually even a tent here. There's a guy, Torkil Mikkelsen. He arrived yesterday, or he called up yesterday morning and said, "Can I come out?" And we're like, "Absolutely." No, maybe it was Friday actually. And yeah, no, that is yesterday. Anyway, I'm losing my days of the week. Good vacation. So he set up a tent, and do you know what he sells? Not for the faint of heart. He sells pelts. So my kids used to buy pelts from him. Reiskatter, which is polar cat? Not polar cat. Smaller than that though. Anyway, and he's got a lot of fox pelts and stuff. He hunts them himself and does it very humanely. So I need a tanner. So we'll go around this and I'll show you something else is new. That's the back door to the restaurant. These are the houses, by the way. They're the hotel rooms, the ones that look like Viking inspired. Again, the round shape, because if there's an avalanche, that will break the shockwave, the shape of it. And they have roof ceilings on the roof. I don't know if you can see in one of them there. They're kind of Viking inspired. They're quite nice. I think Julie Miner stayed in one of those last time she was here, and she's coming back again soon, I hope. Yep, I'm going to show you the bakery. Charlotte knows what I'm doing. Can't get anything past her. Oops, sorry, too much zoom. There we go. Go out a bit. There we go. I don't know why we don't have any water running through that this year. But hey, no playing. Oh, no parking. I thought it said playing, not allowed. Okay, we'll go around the cars though, because it's a bit of a building site on the back side. It's not done. I don't think it's open just yet, but this is, that's the name of the hotel, by the way. Hotel and restaurant, Gudvangen Fjord. So you saw how quick it is to walk to the village from here. And this is where the ferry comes in. If you're going through the Sogne Fjord and Norway Fjord. Well, it does look like it might be open. Maybe I can go in. Yeah, I can. Oh, good. Then we'll go in a second. I'll show you one more thing first. I'm trying not to get run over by a car. So last week we had landslides. I think it was maybe it was a little more than last week. All that area there that looks like a brand new road. The reason it looks like a brand new road is because all those big rocks came down. They're huge. So all these big rocks came down on Tuesday, and that's why there's no grass growing here or anything. You can still see the dusty ground from where everything was picked up. I think, well, looks like they have only just recently done it. Those big white sand piles, oh, that's anorthosite. That actually is mined here. But all that sludgy looking rock, that's everything that fell down, including these guys. This is nose height. If I put my bag in front of it, you can see how big it is. Let's see if I don't spill everything. Maybe I don't. There we go. Look how big. Oop, there we go. Those all fell down. Let's see, one more. So that big avalanche that you see behind the house, actually, it goes off all the time. This is where all that snow would fall down. So if it comes down really, really far and heavy, that's the one that's straight up behind my Viking house. Right up there. And then it comes down and then it goes this way. And you can see it's even been dug out especially to guide all the snow and rocks through here. But every time it comes down new, they have to sludge it down or to drag it all out. And when it's really coming down hard, it just goes right over that and goes straight into the fjord like it did there. So, a little bit of trivia for you. We didn't really look at that too much last time, but that road is quite dangerous to drive because there's another avalanche right there. This is not a snow avalanche, that's a rock slide. And then there's a tunnel that goes in through there because this one also falls down all the time on an old road. And that one landslided as well last week. Landslided, I like that I made that a verb. But over here, where it says Gamlu, I think we walked by this year in the winter and wondered what they were doing with it, but now we know what they were doing. They made a bakery. So, I'm surprised the cars haven't hit me yet. They look like they want to. I'll catch up a little on chat for a minute. Used to play D&D there every Sunday, says Albert, to relax. I used a lot of fur in Métis and indigenous crafts here. Pelts are a necessity for that. I gotta say, I like the pelts. I just like that they do it in a humane sort of way. But it's quite cool to have somebody with pelts again. I haven't seen that guy here since before the pandemic. He used to come to the market every year. Oh, God, that's right. Prude has been posting because I have been completely social media lax. She says last week's stream had 544 views. If Jerome works together, I bet we can get it to 1,000. Wow, I should probably like up my game today. And I don't have Carl with me this week because he's got the day off and the others are all helping over there. So it's just me. But I have a surprise for next week too. I'll tell you that in a little bit. We won't be in Gudvangen next weekend on Saturday. We're going somewhere. We're going on a road trip. But Carl insists we will find time at 6 o'clock to stop where we are and do a YouTube for an hour. So we'll go inside here. I just have to film you. I'm on live on YouTube. So I was telling him that there's a new bakery that's come up. So I have to show you what they have. These things here, by the way, dangerously good. I should not have any more of those. No. Look. This is so not Viking. These are my favorite, the croissants. Too, as far as if you're not going to have sweet, but it's still really good. They have cheese croissants, they can heat them up for you too. So who's hungry? Oh, I have to show. And they have pizza too. So Margherita Pizza, is that what they call it in the United States too? It's basically tomato and cheese. Gudvangen Paima. If I said that right, I gotta see what that is. Voss speknakke med mozzarella, hvitgeitost og gulost. So it has spek, what is that, like dried meat, I guess, with mozzarella, white goat cheese, and yellow cheese. Plain pepperoni and cheese, and kvit sjufiskav. Am I getting that right? Bianca with capers, smoked salmon, and roux. That's not for me. Okay, I'm going one more in. And they have, the Cadillac of, yeah. Look at it. It's so good too. I was like caffeinated for all day. They decorated it with old furniture, but all in nice matching tones. I think that's really nice. It's like taking retro and going correct. So it's all recycled furniture. But look at the patterns. We are so going off Viking target today. And we had our staff meeting here last week, which was quite a treat. Look at the old furniture. And then they'll have pictures up here from pictures and suitcase tags and things from old the area. from back in the day. I love that couch the most, I think. I wonder if they would notice if I stuck that in my car and took it home with me. Probably. But and the view is awesome there. You can see the hotel restaurant over there, just under the awning over there, and then the Lady Elizabeth boat. And this is the dock for where the ferry comes in. So hard to find. Look at these chairs. So who's gonna come and have coffee with me here next time? Okay, now I'm leaving you. It was nice to see you too. Bye-bye. Oh, wait a minute, we gotta look at that. Nice rack. And the bird. I don't know if it'll let me shoot straight up like that. That thing is huge. But the woodwork is amazing. No, seriously, I'm gonna go now. This is so far from Viking. That's still not quite done fixing things though. No, so they literally just opened up. And then we can walk over, actually, this way. I don't think we ever walked this way through the village either. So I will catch up on chat for a minute while we check out the queue. Hello, bakery lady. There are definitely advantages to living in Manitoba prairies. Oh, Brutus says she used to live in Japan. Yeah, typhoons plus earthquakes cause massive mudslides. Yeah, the bakery was last year, but it used to be a store here, actually. It used to be a shop. Oh, by the way, campers and everybody is doing the van life now. We've got so many of them. More every year. I think it's because of the COVID thing. Everybody just started buying campers and then starting doing the van life. So I brought some projects with. We can park down somewhere and I can show them. I see I've only been babbling for 27 minutes and you still haven't killed me, so we can go see what's... I don't think I've ever walked all the way down there on YouTube before. Let's see. By the way, if you ever wonder where the public bathrooms and showers are, right there. I think there's showers in there anyway, but there's another one by the kayak place. So another thing I've been doing all week is getting ready for the market. It's official. We have pre-registrations out for the Freeman because that have been coming and staying all throughout the pandemic, etc. I've been coming and staying in the village because in October, to have a market in October, it's going to be cold. Everybody's going to want a house. As Charlotta and Albert would be happy to hear, those who have been spending the most time here will be first pick when it comes to houses. However, everyone will get a roommate. If you have a spare bed in your house, it will get used. So it just needs to be. But I'm happy to give out some more information. Krauke has confirmed they're going to come and play. If you know them, they're a Danish band. And let's see. We're going to do the acoustic one, of course, because the electric one is just not quite right for the Viking market. We hope to have Glima. That one is, we'll know that one on September 1st. We'll have 2 fighter groups at least, and more I think are trying to come. One from Poland, and then Kongsgården 1260 is coming as well, but they're of course going to go back in age a bit. Show you a little view over here. I think we have the Viking ship Tira has been said that they're interested in coming. But of course, that costs him quite a bit of money just to get his Viking ship up on a crane and get it out here, plus the diesel. So obviously, if you want to take that boat, the Viking ship, you do have to pay for a ticket to go on board, but it's not all that expensive. But it's definitely worth it. I think you get at least 15-20 minute ride out into the fjord. You might have to do the paddling yourself though. What else do we have coming? We're still in the early phases of it because now we've just passed the hump for the tourist season. We've just gotten over the hill as far as the Norwegian tourist season goes. So now it's full on market, and hopefully that I will have the market open for everyone to register within the next couple of days, since I will now be doing home office for a while. This is old hotel part, or the motel part. Those are all little ones, and they each have a kitchenette. Those are nice to stay in too, and a nice balcony on the back side that looks out over the river and at the village. I think I work October, says Charlotte, but all sounds awesome. Let's all sleep around. Yes, so Charlotte found out the hard way. If you're a little late and want to come when everyone else is going to be here, you have no choice. You have to sleep around because there's a house that's available for one day but not the next. And then another one becomes available, but it's not open for more long. So she has to literally, I think she might have had to sleep in 4 different houses while she was here anyway. So we told everybody she was sleeping around. Or maybe there was a cancellation last minute. Hi, hi. I love the old houses in Gudvangen. Let's see, that one over on the right, I think, is a bed and breakfast. I'll walk on the other side of the street now so I don't film too many. And then I'll catch up on chat a little bit too. I wish I'd come to the market, but I'm coming to England that month. There is, the thing is, it's the overlap between the fall break in the east and then in the west of Norway, so the 2 week, but the overlap. However, we are planning on setting up courses if you come before the market or stay after the market when it is still a fall break, at least in one part of Norway. So that's an option. Look how cool. Tingstova. That's an old hotel part. I'll get out of the way for a car. You can see that one too is quite nice. I like the looks I'm getting from people. Viking with a gimbal and a selfie mode. Is Ilva and Dave coming to the fight? No, they just left about a week ago. Ilva is our German guide that came back here. She just got married and brought her husband. But no, they are unable to get off work in October, but they did extend their stay here for 4 days, which was quite nice. So they end up being here a little bit more than 2 weeks. We got a lot of bonus Vikings in though. There's one is pretty big on Instagram. I forget what his name is on there, but anyway, his name is Eric. And we have about 4 Germans coming through and a girl who worked at Heitebo from Holland. I think she worked there. Either that or she spent a lot of time there, can't remember. And there's more, the Gudvangen Hotel. You can also stay in that part. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Rowing the ship is the part of the fun. Yes, I agree. They even had somebody run across the oars. Who was it, Albert? I'm going to have you on this one because you're my your local smart guy when I don't have car there. You can be my Viking smart guy. Who was the one that ran across the oars in the sagas? And they redid it they showed it in the Kirk Douglas movie from like 1960 something. Running across the oars. Actually, they actually reenacted that on Tour. Look at here. Or on Tier of the boat. I like the walls. You can see the back way we came. No, I like the rock walls. Imagine all those had to be placed by hand. And they're heavy. This is more modern though. I think this gray one also might be a bed and breakfast. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll cross the street now. So you've now seen Old Gudvangen. That is the entire city of Gudvangen. Because when we get to the end of the road here, it runs into a highway. There's some more here. There's a nice little house there too, and you can see where we are according to the waterfalls. So the village is straight across there. And if you ever wondered about the bees the honey that we have in the store. You can see where they are. There's some of them are here and some of them are other places too, and they feed off of all of the, was it raspberries? So there's a lot of those bees everywhere. So when you get the bees or the honey in the store, our store, you can't get much more local than that. We can find a place to sit down though, and we can needle bind a little bit. So Albert's going to England in a month. That should be fun. Let's see, what else? Pruda says she's going to try to get there for the market. Oh, that would be so awesome if you could. Let me know as soon as you try, because housing is going to go fast. Although, actually, I should say, though, the camping sites, there's one just a little bit down. There's actually 3 just down the road there. They all have little cabins you can rent as well, and they will be open for the market. They'll keep open for that weekend and not close too early. If you can see up there some more old houses. Like that big gray one though. But instead of going out to the highway, we'll go sit by the river. I think you can see where the highway now. So it literally means you've just seen all of Gudvangen now. In less than an hour. The only thing we didn't do was go to the gas station. But I started out there. Let's see. If we go up this little path here, we end up to the river, and that's actually the little bridge, or the stairways that goes over the bridge that goes to our village. But that's the car bridge, so it'll be noisy. Oh, I didn't even notice Ellen's cat. I won't go too close, but we can zoom in. I think that's Ellen's cat. He's gotten big though. Is that your cat? Is that Ellen's cat? Is that Ellen's cat?
Ellen's cat, yes.
Yeah, Ellen's cat. Yeah, he's gotten big. Oh yeah, he's a very happy cat.
He wants to play.
Yeah. He used to go and pick fights with my cat when he lived next to us.
Yeah? Hi, Wanda.
I'm on YouTube, by the way, now. So I've only gotten part of you, but you can see you. There you are. It's Elena! Spanish invasion.
Yeah.
She works at the hotel, and we like to make her work in the shop too.
Yeah. Not this year anymore.
No, we'll get you back. Just wait.
Yeah.
You've been coming here forever. We're not done with you yet. I know, he's so cute. So
Viking yoga. He makes yoga there.
He is doing Viking yoga.
Yeah.
Or cat yoga.
Oi, Oli, ¿qué pasa, eh? You're a celebrity now.
He's a celebrity. Yep, all 15 people are watching him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit by the river though. Yeah, we'll see you. Oops, I'm still zoomed in, so it's gonna be a little spammy. And there's all the bees. Lots and lots and lots and lots of bees. So we'll get away from the river and then we can go sit. Now you can see the wall of the Viking village on the other side, the river side. And I see a nice rickety table there I can sit at. So what have you guys been working on this week? I don't know if I trust this table. There's the back side of the hotel. So at New Year's Eve, we go in that backyard there and shoot off fireworks. And you only have to shoot off like 3 of them because the echo between these mountains is amazingly huge. Okay, and I will sit. Oh my God, I think I might tip over. There we are. I saw it happen when you rode Myklebust. Oh, did they also do running on horse? But you didn't know no, he didn't know who did it. Charlotte's going to be attending Lila's course for plant dyeing. Oh, that'll be so awesome. Lila, that was just here in the village. She's having a plant dyeing course. I think it's in Bergen. It must be if Charlotte is able to attend too. They're from the same area. But they'll plant dye more than just Viking. I think she plant dyes with mushroom too. Albert says he's going to go meet some internet friends for the first time and then going to visit my family there. Oh, that'll be nice. I'm hoping to make it back to the United States in February, March this year. We shall see. Oh, Rosanna's here. You had difficulties. Technical difficulties. Than I did. But now you and Sandra are here. Yes, I did. I had issues at first. All I could do was log into my own YouTube and say I can't get on. But I could recreate the link and start again. So I'll have to just relink it some places. Anyway, so Rosanna I know wants to come and try to come for the market. So hopefully I will have an answer for you with this week. Because I'm going back and forth to Oslo, which is about 6 hours drive each way, every week, I will have more office time. So that means market. So this is something I've been making this week. Sheep. I made sheep from the sheep. Rosanna's seen these before. I used to do, the first ones we made, I put them on the Viking clothes, doing different kinds of things. This one, for some reason, I didn't put it straight on there, so I don't know how this guy, he's kind of climbing up a hill. But yeah, it's the actual our sheep's wool. It's just spun. I don't think I brought the thread with, but it's just single spun, this one though. But I was happy to see that my spinning has gotten better over the years, that I can actually embroider with it. And if you're curious, the backside looks like that. So you can see where I've had to splice on new yarn. Or not splice on, I just weave it under anyway, because sometimes it'll rip if the yarn gets too thick. But I like that in the spinning, that sometimes my yarn is fat and sometimes it's really thin, because it kind of makes really cool detail on these. I mean, he's got one really swollen leg there and one skinny leg. But it makes the wool coat look much more detailed. And these are just simple chain stitches, but the legs are stem and the horns are stem stitch. So the way I do it, it's really easy. You draw a box. You draw something like a head here and kind of connect the neck as much as you want. Then you give it 1 or 2 horns depending on the silhouette. And then just stick some legs in there. And if it's one of our sheep, it has a short tail. If it's the other kind of sheep, they have like longer tails down to here. So there you are. Now, what else have you guys been doing? I have been doing the tablet weaving. Oh, by the way, Lisa, I forgot to say hi. I've been doing the tablet weaving too, but obviously didn't bring that because it's still on a huge Inkla loom. But Virginia made some bookmarks before she left and had them in the store, and I just don't think people saw them the right way, because all of a sudden everybody wanted one and there was only 2. So I made 3 with a heddle loom, and I haven't really worked with a heddle loom before, but I used hand spun yarn that I've had around forever. Didn't really like the way it looked, so I just gave it to Ellen and I said, you can just have them, price them for anything, we'll call them tests, because I don't like the way they're done. Some are really skinny at the bottom and they get too fat. But they sold. Okay, so now I will make them for commission. And so does Virginia's, by the way. So these ones I went one step further though. These ones, they're bookmarks though, but it's basically the idea she had. These I need to steam so they stay flat and stop twisting. I suppose putting them in a book will do that. Anyway, but the fun thing is this isn't a lot of this isn't my spinning on the wool. So you can see it gets real fat and real thin in there some places. A lot of this the guides have spun. But I was happy to see that when I put it through a heddle loom, with actually the long strings are the same skinniness. But when I put it through, it had a really cool look to it, with the fat and the thin. So some of this the guides have spun, some of it I have spun, so it goes everywhere from thick to thin, but they look quite cool. And I finished off the ends like this, and if you don't know how to do that, I will show you. I do this on the ends of the tablet weaving too, and either I leave it like that or I keep it. I wish I had more strings, because you need at least 2 strings for each one of these. I think I did 4, 4, 4, but I would have loved to have more fringes, and it would have been really skinny if I only did 2 strings in one of these, and not 4. I will show you how I do that. So extreme close-up. I was showing Prue to this too the other day, and I think I got it right. Okay, so you're taking your colors. So if this say, you know, if you want to have 2 different colors, you can loop them through. This would be easier if they were 2 different colors for you to see, but like that, just to get started. So you have one color going this way, one color going that way, and then you start twisting and twisting and twisting until it wants to bend on its own, like that. Now you got a little loop you can hang on to. Okay, so you hang on to that part, and then you twist away from you and bring it forward. Twist away, bring it forward. Twist away, bring it forward. Like that. You can do this with nettles, by the way, which I'll get to in a second too. So there you go. You get like that, and these I've been using for those string toys, or those stick toys that Runa made. I made the rope for them. So you can get thick and thin, but it kind of works up fast. You can do this with your hair too, actually, if you twist away and twist forward. So go a little fast here so you can see it all. So all of this, I've been busy. It doesn't actually take that long to do, but let's see if I can see what I did here. Got tangled in my bag. There we are. Untangle the end. So twist away, bring forward. And this you can do the same way as you make those slingbond or whip cord that you can use to treat your hemlines with or just decorate with. So it's kind of cool. But they're really easy to do. It's just the same as if you were applying 2 yarns together, but you're not using a spindle, you're using your fingers. And it's pretty fast. And then you can do like a couching technique. Oh, I'm glad you like these colors. Why does everybody like the colors? I don't. I think it's because I don't like yellow and I don't like pink, but I'm glad you like them. I thought these But this is really easy to do. It's super easy to do, and you don't need exactly super long lengths of yarn. I think this is about 1 meter, and it doesn't shrink up too much. But you can see it works up fast. Oh, the cat's coming to check out what I'm doing. Let's see if I can find him there. I think he remembers me. He's a big, yeah, he's been eating that one. Okay, so somebody went on vacation. One of the neighbors last year went on vacation, and their cat didn't come home before they were left. They were only going to be gone that long anyway. So they left the door just a little bit open on their porch, hooked of course, and just left a whole crap load of cat food for it. And when the neighbors went to go and check on how much food was left, they noticed it was disappeared real fast. But I think the people that went on vacation, they didn't realize that cats like Ellen's cat could also get to that food. Lisa and you, oh, you have a smoke? Reminds me of the candy, and I love candy. Yeah, it does, actually, yeah. It does look like candy colors. I will give you that. It looks like taffy, kind of. Saltwater taffy, the kind they used to make back in the day when my grandmother was a kid. My great-grandmother from Poland used to have saltwater taffy everywhere. Anyway, but so now if I can tilt this down a bit, imagine you have your piece of fabric, if I have some with me. Nope, we'll use this one then. So you have your fabric. You take one of these, and you can make any old, I'll turn that down a bit more. No, it won't go down anymore, I'll just back up. Any old pattern you want. Something like that maybe. And then you, if you know how to do couching, you take a needle and thread, thin yarn it may be, and you just literally sew it down. And that is probably one of the easiest ways you can decorate something with embroidery. It's called couching when you do that. Or you could do a really tight couching, whereas if you don't like these colors, but you have some silk you want to use. This one's for you, Albert. The silk, you can go tightly around it with silk, and it'll look like you have this raised, kind of a pillowy type stitch going on top. So that's an idea that's actually really easy to do, and you don't need much yarn. These ones, Runa's gonna cut up and use to make those stick toys with. So now you know how to do that. And you can play with the heddle loom, with the sheep's wool. No matter how badly the wool was spun, it still looks quite cool. And you can, this one, unfortunately, if it is badly spun, it doesn't matter if it goes thick to thin, it looks kind of cool. But if it is too loose, you won't be able to pull it through. So this one, if you're going to do single ply wool, you definitely want to set the twist before you do this. That means you put it in water, soak it, and then wrap it around something and let it dry. And then the stitch should, or the twist shouldn't curl up on you anymore. You could also even go one step further. If you can handle it, you can do like a boiling water or something, soak it in that for a little bit, and then take it out, and it'll start felting up and get a little bit tighter. Because when you pull the needle through, then the fat wool will get stuck back. Talking about silks, this Albert, he's planning on doing a set of clothes with silk decor on it. Well, there you go. Now you could do this. You could, do your little thingy here. You could make a big, well, what's an A rune? You can make an A for Albert. I think you need one more line in there or something, don't you, for Albert? Anyway, then just, no one will ever know. Okay, so Greg's socks. I have those with. Greg is unfortunately under the weather, so we won't be seeing him for a little while. His whole family got sick. But when he comes back, he has to wear Peruta socks. If he wears Peruta socks and he shows them, if he shows Peruta socks on YouTube, then he can wear them. By the way, you can see a little bit more of the waterfall. I'll just kind of go up. Then you can see from the village, you can actually see where it kind of comes down there now on the left. Because I think that little runoff river is kind of waterfall up there, right there is hard to see from in the village. Okay, I go back down again. So Greg is supposed to get these too, but he's got to show up for YouTube, then he gets to have them. What else do I have? The wrist warmers are done. I put them in a bag though. The reason I put them in a plastic or paper bag is because they're very white. So I finished these. I just have to sew in some strings, but every time I want to work on something in the village, it's these are just all slow. Every time I want to work on something in the village, my hands are too dirty to play with white, but it just needs to be weaved in. And then it's good. And then maybe blocked, so these little fatter stitches. I might have caused a little bit of a stir on the needle binding group. Here we go. Little drama, needle binding Facebook drama. It's always fun to have a little drama in the needle binding world. I saw somebody said that they don't ever need, if you do your needle binding right, you don't have to block your work. And I kind of want to think, clutch the pearls, how dare you say such things? My needle binding is perfect, of course. But the reason you block is not because your stitches don't look uniform, it's to set the twist as well. So saying you don't need to block something is a bit like saying you don't need to set the twist on your yarn. You need to, you just add a little bit of a steam and everything lays just much more smooth, and these big chunks kind of tend to disappear a little bit more, but it won't try to curl up on you and it'll lay much better. So these are done. I don't know what you're talking about, Peruta. I can neither confirm nor deny. I might have kicked a hornet's nest there. I didn't mean to do it. These are silk. That's not all silk though. It's like 15%, no, 25% silk. And the rest is alpaca, I think. So they are really, really soft. But again, I'm afraid to work on the ends if I've got any sort of dirt on my fingers. But it's so nice and soft. This is Sulka, this yarn, S-U-L-K-A, and they don't make it anymore, but every once in a while you can still find it on a secondhand store. Or on fiend.no, for example, finn.no, which is another place kind of like eBay. And it's by Marisol, or yeah, South American. But there you go. So I have not blocked these yet, but I will block them because this little curl that you're seeing here, where it wants to curl up, that will sit nice. All your stitches will be more even. So yes, I might have kicked a hornet's nest there, but exactly, if you don't set the twist or by adding a little bit of water or moisture or steam, it's kind of like braiding your hair. If you braid your hair when it's wet, it remembers the curl. This is the same thing. If you wet it and or add some steam to it, while it's, and wrap it, not tightly, but just wrap it anyway. It'll set the twist so it won't start curling up on you again. And the same reason why I like to do steam block on it. It doesn't need much, just a little bit. You just take a wet cloth, you put it on top. If you're living in the Viking Age, you put a hot pan on top of that and just set it there. Otherwise an iron, but don't rub, just enough to set it in place. And then everything just looks so much more smooth. This will all, it just looks professional. The difference between something that looks like something that was super handmade or something that you might have been able to find in a store is literally just this little bit of adding steam. So everyone's going to think you're professional now. What else do I have? I have Carl's pants with me. Oh, there I do bring the wool. I brought the wool I spun. This is the one with the sheep, the single ply. But I have to set the twist on it. It still wants to curl a little bit, so I could have let it stay longer. There I am causing drama on Facebook again. What happens when I start going online again next week? Yeah. But see, it's still uniformly spun, but there's some places where it's really thin and some places where it gets really thick. And it'll go through, but this one, for example, this little clump here might get caught when trying to pull it through the work. So what you can do is add a little bit of a spit, the Viking way, and rub it into place like that, or like you would when you're splicing your needle bunning. And then that might stay back in again. So there you go. This is mostly Grotoss wool. I think it's almost all Grotoss wool, but it looks like he's turning brown, by the way, Grotoss. I don't know how the hell that happened. He went from gray to white to brown. No, I still got the socks that I'm working on for Chash, but she knows getting socks from me is going to take a long time. I've made the heels. Somebody was asking how to do that. I got 3 minutes, so I'll explain it. You're getting a lot of needle binding today and a lot of Gudvangen today. So when you have your foot, this is your foot. Here's your ankle, leg, ankle, foot, big toe. Anyway, in the monkey world. Okay, I tend to start at the top. There was a girl from Holland asking, how do you know which way to start? When you start at the bottom? Because when I start at the bottom, I think I'm putting my heel in the wrong place or something. Because whenever I put my heel in and then I make my sock, it fits right, but when I try it back on, all of a sudden I got this much extra length. So I fix it by starting here. and then I can try it on as I go, and it just works for me. But it doesn't matter which way you start. But this part, you need, well, either way, your work has to fit over your ankle, this part of your ankle. If it can't stretch over that, or if it stretches too tight, you're going to have problems, and you'll have these great socks, but you won't be able to get them on. So this part you fit to your leg, but when you're ready to do this part, you can take the working end, not the start end, but your working end, and you can stretch it around your foot, or put it on your foot as you would wear it, and squeeze or pinch. This is how big your foot is. Your foot, the toe part of your foot needs to be. This is how many stitches you need to lose when you go around. So then you make a chain, but you'll have to count here, and then you are going to have it end up halfway. So that number that you just counted as to how many you need to go around your toe needs to be equal to this number here. And then you just keep binding forward. If it still fits a little big, you can decrease a little bit on each side to get your toe. I have this old sock here we can show. Maybe this was the bad sock to show. This is the destroyed sock. So it's like that. So you need this part to equal this part. And if it fits too big, you can just decrease a little bit there. If it's too tight, you're going to want to pick back, though, because it's going to... but definitely do 3 rows and then check to see how it fits. Stretch it out and check to see after 3 rows, because the first row is always the loosest. 2 rows isn't quite bound enough, but when you do 3 rows, then your middle one is your gauge. And then you can come back and do a pick up and go around and around here, decreasing a little every time. Some people decrease only here, some do evenly around. I tend to do evenly around. I think that might show up better on this sock. There, like that. And again, you try it on after, you stretch it and try it on after every row. And again, as much as you pinch, that you have to, if you can pinch amount when you have it on your heel, that's the amount of stitches you need to take away on your next. So there you go. You should be super proud of getting socks the right size without his feet to test. I can't do that. I have to draw around something. So that's what this one would be. I'd have to trace around it. Actually, that's what I did with this one. This was modeled after Jonas Berlin's foot. I don't know if I have anything else in the bag of tricks. I am going to repair these with this yarn so it's very visible. I did finish the hat out of this yarn, by the way. It's in the shop. But I'm going to repair these with this one so it's very visible, and we'll hang the broken twin up on the shutter as well for people to look at what one looks like when as it falls apart, and then what one looks like when it's repaired, so you can see how to repair it. Okay, I've kind of babbled on for 60 minutes now. I did pretty well, I think. Let's see. So, next week, this is the fun thing. For you who are in Norway, there is a movie called Villmark 2. Which, what does that mean? Like the Wild Woods 2 or something? Or the Woods, and it's number 2. It's a crappy horror movie from what I understand. Not horror. But it takes place in an old asylum, an old abandoned asylum, and they were going to tear it down. So in the movie, they were going to tear it down, but they first had to have some hazard control in there and check for asbestos and stuff. And then they sent a librarian there who wanted to make sure that all the papers were taken care of and everything. And then, of course, paranormal activity or God knows what, and, you know, everyone's dead. But we're going there. So Carl's father, when that building, it's in Harresturlen, when that building first came out, it was a hospital. Just post-war, Carl's father had tuberculosis and had to go and stay there for a time, and he has fond memories of that. I guess he spent a lot of time there. I don't know how you have fond memories in a hospital with tuberculosis, but he does. So he, after his stay there, it became an asylum, an insane asylum kind of a thing. And that's where I guess the haunted mysteries or whatever comes from, is from that. But they're actually refurbishing it right now to make a whole hotel out of it. It is a beautiful building, old building. It's huge. It's not ready to be open as a hotel yet, but his father wants to take us there. So we are going there. We're going to arrive, I think, Saturday afternoon. We'll go tour the place with his father. His father's 90 now, I think. 90, yeah. Anyway, and then we're going, no, he's not quite 90, he's 88 or something, I forget. Anyway, he's so young. But he's going to take us there. He's going to tell us all the wonderful facts. My kids are going to get creeped out. It's going to be awesome. We will ditch everyone for about 1 hour to come and do YouTube. And Carl can tell you all about Harresturlen. H-A-R-A-S-T-R, like an O with a line through it, L-E-N. So thank you for playing with me. I will see you next week in Harresturlen with Carl. Bye-bye.